Hello, everyone, and this is episode 77 of the Game and Talk podcast here on Nuke the Fridge Gaming. I'm your illustrious host with the mostest. I like hostess; they're so delicious. Joey Ferris, joined by Chris Del Castillo.
Hey, you haven't been here for a while though. I think you've been gone, like 4 episodes?
I was here the last episode, but I have been gone 4 episodes before that. Yes.
But I heard you had fun this week, these last couple of days, right?
I did have fun these past few days. I just got back from Universal Studios and Walt Disneyland in Los Angeles, California. So that was a lot of fun. I haven't been to Disneyland since I was 7, which was like 16 years ago.
Did you go to both Disneyland and California Adventure?
Oh, yes, of course. You have to.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, you gotta. You gotta. The Guardians of the Galaxy ride is... Mwah.
Is it good?
I was not expecting to love it that much. Like...
What did they remove to put that Guardians of the Galaxy ride? I forgot.
That was the Tower of Terror.
Yeah.
And it is just Tower of Terror, but with Guardians of the Galaxy paint, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
And not just one quick drop.
It's
Tower of Terror is just one drop.
Yeah, it's just one drop.
Not this one.
They just keep dropping you over and over again.
It's so good. I was not expecting to love it that much. But yes, in case you guys don't know, this is our not host with the most. I'm the host with the most. A guest who's the best, I guess. Gore the movie god.
Hey, for the rest.
A guest with the rest that I don't have.
Guest with the breasts.
Yes. Yes. This is an NSFW podcast today, so we'll just get that. And Gore is here because he's the only person in this room who's played Red Dead.
Yeah.
Yes, we're on day 1 of the game.
So far.
My disc is installing right now. So if at any point I leave, it's to check on and make sure that I switch in disc 2 to install the rest of it.
I'm getting mine in about a week or 2, maybe. I'm not too big in a rush because I know you're going to be taking care of it.
Exactly. I'm going to be taking care of it for Commonwealth Realm and Nuke the Fridge. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Yesterday in the chat, people were like, our fellow writers were like, I think I'm going to skip Red Dead for now. I think I'm going to wait on Red Dead. I'm going to check on my backlog. And I'm like, boys, this is Red Dead 2. Come on.
How can you skip Red Dead 2?
I'm not skipping it. I'm just putting it in my back burner because 1, I don't have time this week, and 2, I'll be busy next week, so I don't want to put like 3 hours into it and then not have any time into it.
That's more than fair. But you know, I'm calling out those people who are like, I'm looking forward to picking up Red Dead, but My Hero One's Justice is more important.
I got that too. I haven't played that, but
I bet. Oh, there's Kyle. Kyle joined us. Can we hear him though? Where is
Hopefully.
he? Are you there?
He's not even.
Hello.
What happened? Oh, there he is.
Sorry. Hold on.
Sorry, guys. Wrong camera.
Hey, at least it wasn't something inappropriate.
Inappropriate.
That's why I was on the wrong camera.
Awesome.
Because you were naked? Still is. He's probably going to be naked this entire podcast. But yeah, also, Alan should be joining us soon also, but you know how we are at Nuke the Fridge Gaming. Lazy, but
once we can get an office and have everything set up, then we'll look so much better.
Exactly. Once we get the IG, once we buy out IGN and take their offices, it's going to happen. Watch and learn.
It's just a matter of time.
It's only a matter of Tim. Speaking of Tim, where is Tim? Poor Tim. He couldn't make it this podcast. But yes, we're going to start this off. We're not going to
Tiny Tim alone.
Tiny Tim. Poor Tiny Tim. He's dying. But we're not going to start off with Red Dead 2 just yet. But I do want to talk about a little bit about these new Switch game announcements that have been coming out. All of them ports, but some of them are exciting nonetheless. The first one being Vampire. Very unexpected.
Oh, I didn't hear about that, actually.
Yeah, not a lot of people did. But their Square Enix is bringing Vampire to the Switch. What kind of game is that? It's like action-adventure, play as a vampire.
It's Castlevania.
We're not at that part of the podcast yet, but we'll talk about that. But, you know, it's weird. We're getting Vampire before we're getting Life is Strange, which is made by the same developer.
That is strange.
That is
Life
very
is strange.
Hey, I'm still waiting for my Remember Me.
Oh,
Do you remember me?
R.I.P. in
I
peace.
remember me.
I don't.
I don't think Capcom remembers me.
Yeah, no, the title for that game.
Yeah, I was. You know, it's funny. I only ever played some of that game when it was free on PlayStation Plus on the PlayStation 3. So that was, and when I did play it, I was just like, "Why is the camera so close to my character? Fuck this game!" And I turned it off.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. I did like all the time things. Yeah, you manipulate time and dreams or something. I don't remember. It's been years, but I thought that stuff was cool.
I mean, the only game Capcom remembers is Resident Evil and Okami. Sorry, every other Clover game.
Cloverfield.
Cloverfield.
I'm very looking forward to the next Cloverfield movie, which is apparently not a Cloverfield movie anymore. Cloverlord, yes.
Yeah, that's what I keep calling it.
Which I actually keep hearing good things about that movie, which is surprising because that first trailer was hot garbage.
Oh, I liked it.
I didn't like. It's just like, okay, is it a horror movie or is it an AC/DC fest? Like, come on.
AC/DC fest. AC/DC is the bad guy.
That would be awesome. I'd watch that movie. But yeah, I've heard that was really good. Where'd Kyle go? I miss him.
I don't know, but that's a sweet ass Stranger Things poster.
Right? Let's look at that for a second.
Netflix has some of the best intros. For sure.
They really did. Like Castlevania intro.
Castlevania.
Exactly. Oh my fucking god! But before we get to Castlevania, the other Switch games that were announced, Resident Evil 0, the first one. First of all, this is their remakes. And what's it called? Resident Evil 4, the big one.
Whoa! Really? I didn't hear about that.
Yes, they just announced that. Did they announce that today, Chris?
Yeah, they announced it today. But you know what's sad? I think Resident Evil 3 is getting the Final Fantasy VIII treatment.
As in, we're never going to see it ever.
Yeah, I mean, unless they remake it, but that's probably not going to happen.
I mean, it depends on how well the 2 remake does. You know,
well, 2's going to do, I think, really well. I think there's no doubt 2's going to do very, very well. Just surprised that they're not bringing 3.
Yeah. While you were gone, Kyle, we were talking about the Resident Evil games coming to the Switch.
Oh, I heard. I heard. I have really no opinion. I've never really cared for the franchises in general. I'm just not a fan of spoopy games, if you will.
To be fair, those games are not very spoopy, but
hey, they were scary. They were scary when you're like 10 years old and you're playing for the first time.
Yeah.
The only one I can say I actually genuinely cared about was 4. So
that's the best one to care about. So
and that's just because I played it with my brothers and fond and nostalgic memories.
RE6 is the best.
Okay, so we need to kick somebody out right now.
We slow down.
Come on, man. The Sea Monster, that was dope.
Yeah, 4 I've never finished. I played a lot of it on PC when I had, but the PC port's just garbage. So I'm just gonna get it on Switch, I think, and along with finishing Resident Evil 1, and I didn't even touch 0. Is 0 even that good?
It was okay.
Yeah, it's all right.
Now, have they said how they're releasing it? Is it via individual games? So are we?
They haven't announced that. They just said that it's coming in 2019.
So
more than likely, it's just going to be digital single releases.
Resident Evil 4 was also on the GameCube, correct?
Yes.
GameCube, Wii, PlayStation 2, and PC.
So am I mistaken by saying when this game comes out, it'll be the first GameCube game on the Switch?
Trying to think. Fuck, he's right.
That was my first thought when it was announced. Like, wait, what's going on?
This will probably be like the Steam version, PS4 Steam version.
Yeah,
yes, it will technically be the GameCube first.
Because the Heart of Hearts was just
stuff.
What was that, Gore?
No, the PS2 stuff had the extra stuff, so they wouldn't just put the GameCube on there.
Oh no, they're gonna go with the more recent version of PS4 and Steam. And Xbox definitely. 360, whatever, everything. It's been on every fucking system.
I just remember the Steam version having terrible slowdowns. Like, my God, they were bad. I was playing with the mouse and keyboard, which is the wrong way to play it. Very wrong way to play it.
This is just the second coming of Okami, that's all.
Oh my God, Okami. I love that game so much. But yeah, any other game announced for Switch that we missed out on? No?
I mean, that's about it. I mean, there's always more.
This news is going to interest Kyle. Apparently, Nintendo renewed the Banjo and Kazooie license.
Yeah, that's everyone keeps tweeting. Like, seriously, my phone was blowing up today. Everyone's like, "Oh, did you see it?" No, I am firmly of the belief that is purely for the N64 Classic. I stand by 100% that the Banjo license for the game needed to get renewed in order to have their games on the 64 Classic. I don't think a 64 Classic would even be a good system without Banjo-Kazooie. So they needed to incorporate those somehow.
Or it could be like the Eternal Darkness license, and we don't ever find out why they keep renewing it.
Well, okay, so that, and I thought about that too. Well, not that exact case, but I was like, okay, well, what if maybe they're just renewing it because it's their property, somewhat. It's not. They're not. Granted, they don't own Banjo-Kazooie anymore, but that game still resides as a Nintendo birthed game. You know, it's such a sticky, weird situation as to why they would even feel the need to renew it if they can't make that game without Microsoft and Rare being on board. So it's weird. I do feel like it's showing us something, but I don't think it means Banjo's coming to Smash. I don't think it means that Banjo 3 is going to get a Switch port. I've had a lot of people suggest that to me, and I don't think that's going to happen. But I firmly believe Banjo 3E is getting announced this year. I almost 100% will promise you that it's getting announced this year because there's.
You mean ukulele?
No,
ukulele.
Yeah.
No, I don't get me wrong. I love ukulele.
Banjo-lele?
Yeah, that would be great. Actually, crossover. That'd be good.
Hey.
Kazooie?
So, anyways, three main pieces of evidence as to why I firmly believe Banjo 3 is getting announced. Rare on Banjo's 20th anniversary, Rare said, "Okay, we have all this sweet merch that you could buy for Banjo, but sorry, we don't have a new game to announce yet." So that's like giving us hope for the future. Okay. A lot of people have gone back. I have to admit, I completely forgot about this because I try and put this game away in like a deep, dark corner of my soul. But Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts at the end has a cameo or has a little hint at Banjo 3E. As you know, it came out in 2008, and at the end of the game, there's this little sequence where you can run around this it's like a, I don't know, it kind of reminds me of the Kingdom Hearts opening where it's just like this weird big platform.
That thing.
So yeah, you walk around, and if you read the text, it's all the way around it. It says, "Will they remember us in 10 years for Banjo 3E? Come back in 2018 to find out."
What?
Yeah,
that was a thing. I didn't know this. What the hell?
Yeah. I actually I can tag you on Twitter later if you.
All right, please do it. Yeah, because I need to see
I'm just gonna call it right now. Banjo 3E announced next year, made by Ninja Theory.
that would be just...
Dante from DMC in it?
Yeah.
not Dante from the Devil May Cry series, Dante from DMC.
Yeah.
So the final piece of evidence is that the last time they had an XO event was they announced the Rare acquisition. Now this isn't like a big piece of evidence, but I do think the bringing back of XO for Microsoft is them saying we're ready to make some really big announcements again. We're back on it. So when they announced that, and now they're bringing it back, I think there's something there. But anyways, that's just my side tangent. Banjo's coming to Smash, and Banjo is getting Banjo 3. I've gotten so much hate because I put out my official theory that Banjo 3 is going to get announced on November 10th. And then later that day, we're going to get the Nintendo Direct for the month of November, and it's going to announce Banjo for Smash. A lot of people say, well, it's not going to happen because it's going to be on Saturday, which means it's Sunday in Japan. Well, Microsoft doesn't care. They won't let. I firmly believe if they do have a Banjo 3E ready to announce, which I do believe that, they won't let Nintendo make that kind of a big of announcement without Microsoft making their big announcement first. They need to. They know that a bunch of Nintendo fans like us are going to be like, oh, okay, well, maybe it's time to buy an Xbox again. I mean, I bought an Xbox
Again.
as well. But yeah, I have my 1S, my 1X over here. I'm just like staring at you like babies.
But you still kept your 1S, my guy.
My roommate, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's purely so me and my roommate can play Sea of Thieves together.
Very
Look,
nice.
nobody cares about Banjo. It's gonna be all about Battletoads, bro.
Okay. So you wicked sinner. Battletoads is all right though. I like Battletoads.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Gore, you're an Xbox fan, if I'm not mistaken.
Nah.
Xbox.
Hey, but the one thing cool that they did announce, Microsoft's bringing the Play system over to PC.
Cool.
The Game Pass is coming to PC.
Oh, Game Pass.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
What?
That's
PC?
So I guess Xbox One's a little more useless than ever. But I mean,
If I'm not mistaken, there's already been a workaround for that anyway. You can download a game via Game Pass, and if it's a Play Anywhere title like Sea of Thieves, people have been playing on PC like that.
okay, well, it's officially coming.
Okay, yeah.
So it's kind of a reason. I'm not trying to be mean. Less of a reason to actually care about an Xbox One.
I mean, Microsoft doesn't care.
I know. They get your money either way.
No, they are very much heading towards the we want you to buy our games. We don't really as much consider or care about you buying our console.
Yeah.
So xCloud is a testament to that.
Yes, Crimson Zixal. We did discuss the Resident Evil Switch news from today, and we're all pretty excited, if you will. I'm kind of excited for it, but I'm not like jumping around.
Nothing like uber exciting. It's just like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we going to talk about the Smash leaks at all, or are we going to?
No.
I've been trying to stay away from that.
I've been trying to stay away from that too. Like, no, I don't know a thing really. Like,
you're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
Oh my god!
We could ask the chat if we should talk about it.
No.
Drop one in the chat if you want. Let's talk about Smash leaks.
No, we're dropping that. Good. If we only have one person, Crimson Zixal, whatever the hell his name is.
Very good.
No.
Crimson Zexel, man, he's a super trooper.
Super trooper.
Yeah.
Super retarded.
Oh, hey, now that's just not nice.
Oh.
Yeah,
that's just rude.
I retract my statement. Yeah.
Oh, there's Awesome Gamer.
Okay, so but Awesome Gamer, what did he say? Why are you not watching Army stream, Kyle? What's wrong with you? What happened?
He paused.
It paused for a second. Okay, I was like, what's going on? Hello?
Hi.
We're
all
just
good.
we're all
I think
good.
we had a little bit of echo there for a second.
Scared me.
Yeah, okay, but I said, why are you not watching Army stream like you said you would?
Oh, well, I don't remember me saying that, and I need to.
Yeah, we're not going to touch those Smash leaks. I've heard people say things, but I'm just not going to believe them because they could just be full of shit like everyone else on the internet is. Why would someone lie on the internet? Why would they?
Well, you know, they announced Dante is going to be in the game.
Who? What?
Dante from Devil May Cry.
Dante's Inferno?
Yeah, Dante's Inferno too.
No, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time. But yeah, let's talk some.
And a new Funky Kong mode.
Let's talk some Red Dead. I want to talk some Cowboys.
So should I leave now, or?
Yeah, let's do that one last. Let's do Castlevania now, and then we'll go into Red Dead.
Oh, dude,
Red Dead's gonna be the whole thing.
Talking about Castlevania, you have no idea.
Okay, but you're not allowed to spoil it because I haven't seen them yet. I'm watching those tomorrow night when I get back from San Diego.
Oh,
I'm watching them when I'm done with Red Dead, so like in 4 weeks, maybe.
My guy. The new season picks up with such a good entrance, man. Oh,
it does. It's really. I watched the first half. It's really good. The first episode's really good. It's just like a straight up continuation. It just keeps going.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
I just want to watch all. What it's 6 episodes, right? Or was it 8?
8. Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta watch all 8 nonstop. That's just how I gotta do it. And then after that, I'm gonna jump straight into Requiem again.
Mm.
So let's first talk about Requiem. Have any of you played that yet?
No.
Not yet.
Okay, so everybody's enjoying it and hating it at the same time.
Okay.
They're hating it because the version of Symphony of the Night they're using is the PSP version, which has different audio. So it has Yuri Lowenthal is Alucard, but they also get rid of a lot of important lines. Like, "What is a man?" is not on that version.
Yeah.
Which is terrible, because that's the goddamn best line. What is a man? Nothing more than a miserable pile of secrets.
Wait a minute. What? They fucking took that out?
Yeah, because the PSP version didn't have that.
Why?
Come at you.
How about you? Yeah.
They have at you. There we go. So they got rid of that, which is disappointing.
And Yuri Lowenthal plays Alucard?
Yeah.
That makes no fucking sense at all.
Hey, what's wrong with Spider-Man being Alucard?
Alucard sounds like Diet Ron Perlman. Like you can't replace that with Yuri Lowenthal. Excuse me.
All I hope is Konami.
High?
All I hope is Konami releases some kind of patch with the original audio.
It'll probably
and the original text. I know.
Konami.
$4.99.
The only thing Konami has done right is that Castlevania series. Let me tell you. Whoever's the showrunner of that fucking show, at least from what I watched
Ari, I forgot his last name.
Just let him produce everything video game related at this point. He seems to understand how to adapt this shit into something watchable.
Well, when the first episode came back way back when, I honestly
last summer, yeah.
Right. Yeah, my impression of the show, like within the first 10 minutes, was like, oh, I don't want to like humanize Dracula. Like, why do I want to watch a show about him? And then they like swept him aside for the rest of the first season. I was like, okay, this is great.
No, I liked it. It actually gave him some depth to why he's such a piece of.
No, yeah. For the extent that they did it with, I'm like, okay, great. And now where they're going with the second season, I'm like, okay, perfect. Especially with Alucard's dynamic with Dracula, how they're expounding on that more, like why they hate each other, and from at the beginning, you know. Well, I don't know, hate each other.
We could talk about it. We could talk about it on Monday. What my thoughts are, because I want to see if it'll tie into like an eventual third season, whether it continues off or it goes into Symphony of the Night.
That'd be awesome. I mean, I'm coming at this from a guy who hasn't played much Castlevania at all. But, you know, watching this show, I fucking love it still.
You don't need to be a fan of the show. I mean, the games to watch the show, definitely.
And even just knowing that fans of the games love the show and the show does that much justice to the games makes me love it even more. Because, you know, how often do we get, like, a video game adaptation of not even just movies, but, like, even TV shows? How often do we get them told right? How often?
Yeah.
Not very often.
Are you afraid for The Witcher?
Yes. I'm not too afraid for The Witcher. I'm
more afraid. I'm more afraid for Henry Cavill.
For all the backlash he's gonna get for not being like the game, even though this show is based on the books.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't care for the. Okay, I want to say this carefully so I don't piss everyone on the internet off.
I'm already angry.
I'm already pissed off.
I don't care about The Witcher, if that makes sense. Like, I understand and appreciate the game for what it is, and the book, but I don't care. And Joey knows that I have a nasty habit of not caring about popular games, and I'm sure we'll come back to this in a few minutes,
few milliseconds.
But I'm excited for what Henry Cavill is going to bring to the table, and I know I just know that people are going to say he sucks because Henry Cavill always gets that in every movie he's in. The first one is always like, "Oh,
open your eyes, Kyle.
He's a terrible version of this character," and then it takes a while. Everyone's like, "No, he is the best." You know, like case in point, Superman. You know,
bro. At least he does. What was that, Gore?
I'm sorry. I just think there was better choices. I feel like they got him. Like, didn't they cast him right after Mission Impossible came out?
I don't know. It wasn't right after. It was sometime after.
It was like 2 weeks, maybe 2-3 weeks later.
No, this casting news came out like months after Mission Impossible came out.
Well, that only came out in July. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't remember when he was cast. I think he could be good, but I haven't seen a movie where I think he's really great in it yet. But I could see him being really good. He just needs a good role. Mm-hmm. You know, even Mission Impossible, he was kind of one note. I mean, he was great in that role.
I mean, that's the entire Mission Impossible franchise is one note.
Yeah, sure. That last one was really good. It was a good note.
It was a really strong vibrato, but it was one note.
They could stop making Mission Impossible movies and it'd be fine.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Sure.
No one will cry themselves to sleep over it.
Except maybe Tom Cruise, but you know.
Yeah.
He's a
I have to grow
Scientologist,
another
okay.
inch to get in more action movies now.
Yeah, well, he funds those movies, so he's the one. He basically just produces these movies just to do all the shit he fucking does.
I appreciate that though. That it's like his baby at that point, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And he's not just like holding a gun shooting things. He's like he's jumping on helicopters and flying helicopters into boulders. I'm like, I don't know what's going on anymore.
Mission Impossible Fallout was the best Uncharted movie we're ever gonna get.
Yeah.
Honestly, like whatever the hell the Tom Holland one's gonna be, I don't even know where they're even trying.
He's gonna be 40 by the time that movie comes out.
Wait, catch me up speed on that. I haven't heard much about that.
Oh, like this was announced like 1 or 2 years ago that Tom Holland would be young Nathan Drake in an Uncharted movie that would focus specifically on young Nathan Drake.
That'd be kind of cool, actually. I mean,
I'll give it a shot. I'm
Make sure you get a young star so you can continue the franchise for like 30 years.
Yeah.
And to be fair, young Nathan Drake was Tom Holland before Tom Holland was even a thing. So
that's true.
It's very true. But are we ready to talk about the cowboy game, or shall we? Anything else we want to talk about?
No, not there. There's been some big news, but nothing super major recently, I guess we can say. The only other thing we can really talk about partially is the writer of The Witcher suing CD Projekt Red, but that's about it. You guys heard about that one, right?
That's just in the works for a while now, right?
It's just an author being a little bitch.
Yeah, a little bitch.
Because isn't this one of those situations where he knew he wasn't going to get like anything out of this except, you know, like, oh, hey, the books exist if you want to keep reading the Witcher stuff. But like, what's he mad about? Them not get something about him not getting money, probably.
No, so what ended up happening was originally when they made him the deal, they go, hey, we'll give you a percentage of complete sales, or he's like, no, I want all the money right now, thinking that that the games would never sell.
Of course.
And so he took the one large sum, and now he's pissed about it.
Well, that's his own damn fault. He's good luck in court, buddy.
Good luck.
Not having faith in your IP at that point. So
you should be ashamed of yourself at this point, honestly.
Well, he's also saying that the game doesn't differentiate itself from the books. So he's kind of saying like it's taken away from the books, which is kind of funny because everybody knows it's the opposite.
Yeah. Like, what, dude? Come on. These games are making your books more popular.
Because originally, they were only written in Polish, so none of us would have ever been able to read it.
Mm-hmm.
But thanks to that popularity, everybody wants to read the books.
Mm-hmm. Except maybe Kyle. He knows Polish. Right, buddy?
Duh.
Speaking of Red Dead, I'm gonna go check up on my game real quick, see how it's doing installing wise. Improvise.
Okay, let's just insult him.
Anybody tried the Fallout 76 beta yet?
No.
I haven't heard a lot of good things about it. I heard it's not bad, but not amazing.
Yeah.
I never even got the code for it.
It kind of feels like I have been watching a fair amount of gameplay at least, and I have friends that have like work and such that have been playing it. The general consensus that I've been hearing is that it really just feels like a Fallout 4 mod, not a brand new game. If that makes sense.
The lack of NPCs and story kind of make it kind of bland. I heard too.
Right. So I don't know. I do know the folks at IGN were talking about this, and I agree with what they were saying that how they're not quite confident a whole game can be supported on holotapes. That they're not quite sure, that these missions that you get, like you go to a camp to meet up with a person and for a mission, and you just missed them. They like either just died or they just left, and like a whole game based on that. idea that you'll never meet another NPC human is just weird.
Well, you know, that's how it is right now, and they might change it down the line. Speaking of, Kyle, how do you like Starlink?
I have been loving Starlink actually. It even in its repetitive nature in the late game, it's still a fun game.
Starlink sucks. I gave it a 7.7 out of 10. I'm just
freaking hater.
I mean, your score wasn't that much off of what I would have given it if I had reviewed it. I'm pretty sure I would have given it about an 8.
That's fair.
But a lot of my complaints were the same complaints. And I appreciate Joseph's like fairness with that, because I've seen a lot of people, and I express this to Joey as well. There's just a lot of people like taking like the littlest thing and making the repetitive nature like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's repetitive. Well, I mean, that's like a symptom of open world games, and we need to find a cure.
Hey, Kyle, I thought you complained there was too much Starlink in your Star Fox game.
No, dude, do I need to show you my collection? I'm about to flip this camera around, show you. Like, dang. Okay, let's do this.
But anyway, you guys are going to do your Red Dead. I have to go because I'm actually going to a wrestling show as for press. So you guys have fun. Talk about Red Dead. I'll watch it later. And you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening.
All right. Bye, babies. I love you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, yep. There's this collection.
Oh,
let me full screen it so he sees it. Look at that. God damn.
Wow.
Look at all that money just went down the drain.
There it is. Aren't those like $25 each?
Yeah. But I mean, hold on, let me plug this back in.
You can do it.
That's where Best Buy's Gamer Club Unlock came in handy. I saved like $50.
I wish mine didn't expire before they canceled that.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember hearing about the announcement like the week after I got mine. So I'm good till March of 2020, my guy.
Yeah.
I've had it since it like started when it was like $120 or some crap.
Oh.
Damn, that was $120 at some point. Jesus.
No, maybe it was $60. I can't remember. I think maybe it was $60. I bought 2 or something like that. But it used to be like a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. But let's talk about Red Dead and why Kyle doesn't give a shit about it.
I don't.
No, I've been seeing a lot of that lately. Let's be real. I've been seeing so many people on Twitter just like, unpopular opinion, I don't really care much about Red Dead 2.
That's like, whenever something popular comes out.
Exactly. And when it gets 10s across the board, which this game unsurprisingly did.
Starlink better.
Wow.
It's really fun.
I feel attacked.
I bought Starlink so I got an R-Wing in my room. But like Red Dead Redemption 2, I've played 5 hours of, and I have yet to get to any part that is really considered a spoiler. I won't talk about story at all, obviously. Mm-hmm. But man, that first 2 hours, it is slow.
I've heard that.
Yeah, but it builds an atmosphere. There's so many times where you're just riding with your gang, and it goes into like this like leather box like cinematic mode where you're not controlling anymore, and you're just like looking at the environments. I'm playing on the Xbox One S, which is the lowest. Like when it comes to graphical quality, it's the lowest of them. It's still one of the best looking games I've ever seen in my life. Like I can't believe how good the game looks. But is there anything anybody wanted to know about the first couple hours? Before you get into it,
is there any fucking ranch missions where I gotta like herd cattle and shit?
Like,
not yet. There probably will be. Not in the beginning though. No, but it does have a slow beginning. I'm sorry. What did you get there?
Yeah, I played Red Dead 1 in preparation for this. Like, this is my second playthrough of Red Dead Redemption 1. There are just parts of that, especially in the beginning, where it's so sluggish and slow, but that's also great time for the actors in this game to shine. Because, like, I feel like back in at least 2010 when this game came out, there wasn't a lot of games with, like, this kind of, like, performance capture, like, just the actors in general just being so natural.
Right.
Like, it's just something that was so lost on games back then. I feel like there's there's a couple of great examples back then. Like I can't think of really any off the top of my head. I'm taking my socks off, don't mind me. But
Banjo-Kazooie.
Uncharted 1 came out by then.
oh,
right?
yes, definitely Uncharted.
I think Uncharted 2 was out before that, right?
Yeah, it was actually out before that. That's a good point. Games like Naughty Dog, for example, very way ahead of the curve right there. But yeah, Rockstar was definitely, along with Naughty Dog, ahead of the curve when it came to the storytelling and the what's it called, the acting as well. And I'm glad to hear John Marston's original actor is back. I didn't think he would come back for this game because I've heard stories like he retired from acting and went on to start a ranch.
and it's like it hasn't even been a day since he voiced this character, man. It sounds just like, I'm assuming it's his actual voice.
It is, yeah.
Because it is. I thought maybe he was doing a voice or something because it's so distinct. That voice, right when you hear it, it's like I was back in 2010. I was like, oh, my boy.
My boy Johnny Boy is back.
Johnny Boy's back. Brought a smile on my face. But yeah, the first 2 hours is slow, but man, like the acting is so great. And there's not a lot of like cumbersome stuff, you know what I mean? Like the herding the cattle and stuff. It's just, like, oh, you shoot a couple people here, you do a little bit of things here, you have to find someone here, you get to know about the gang a little bit, and you get to understand what happened to them before the story began, without spoiling stuff. It's really interesting the first 2 hours.
Well, okay, so let me ask you this, and granted, you can feel free to shake this question off if you feel like you don't have a good answer for it yet, since you're only like a few hours in. So I've been hearing a lot of people, like especially reviewers online, saying like how expansive the story is and the area is and how the variety of things you can do. But I seldom hear anyone say that those things are actually good.
Okay.
My concern. This is one of those unpopular trigger opinions. My opinion is that it's gonna suffer Breath of the Wild syndrome, where everyone at launch just loves it and it's great. And that it's like, oh, all these new features, all these new things to do, all these great expansive areas to explore. But then when it comes down to it, a few months later, everyone realizes like, oh, it was like empty as shit, And so that's like my big worry. I mean, I love Breath of the Wild. I love the Zelda franchise. But that's like.
But after you beat the story in that game, there's like not much left.
Right. Yeah. Right. And I get what you're saying about Breath of the Wild, where there's times where you're just roaming. And there's really nothing. And maybe what do they call Gobblegos or whatever? Goobly goobs. I don't know. Whatever they are. They're all right. Because this isn't a spoiler. These are just random things that will randomly happen, that will keep happening in the game. The 2 hours I spent just free roaming, just literally just going around, not doing any missions, just free roaming. I went into a town, just a random town. 5 minutes later, I was in a gunfight because I insulted somebody and they ran at me ready to fight. And my instincts were to press the right trigger to like punch him. But I guess I had my gun equipped. I didn't realize. So I just knocked him in the face with my revolver. And I'm pointing the gun at him. I'm like, oh, no, I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to fight. And then he pulls out a gun. I'm like, oh, screw it. And I start shooting him. And then everybody's shooting. I was like, I run out. I have a $25 bounty. Back then, that was a lot of money. So I get out of there. And then after that, I get robbed by a gang, like a rival gang. And you could surrender if you want and let them rob you. Or you can like fake surrender and just like start going at them with your dead eye. You could hunt. You could just meet all these different strangers. You could rob people on the roads, just random people. They'll sometimes let you rob them or they'll fight back. It's just for like about 2.5 hours, I just roamed around. I played dominoes at my camp for 30 minutes.
Oh my God, 30 minutes. I could never.
And while I was playing I was talking to the woman I was playing against, and we were having conversations about little things in the world. I was like, this is great. Well, I'm playing dominoes, which I personally love dominoes. So it's just great. It's so good. So for 2.5 hours, I had experiences I probably would never have in certain other games that would have those structured in them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like this is a game that is aided by its visuals, really, because Rockstar games, they have these weird things where it's like 90% of the game, maybe not 90, that's stretching it a little too much. Maybe half the game, you'll be going to a destination, and it takes you a long period of time to get to that destination. And during the travel, you'll be talking with another person, world building in that sense. And if the game didn't look nearly as good as it did, it would probably be kind of boring in that sense. But
do you think that's okay? Do you think them relying on visuals it should be commended, or is that bad game design?
Well, it also depends on how interesting you make the world, because it also depends on if the conversation is boring or not. But I remember replaying Red Dead Redemption 1, and I'm still being being engaged in the conversations that the characters are having, because the story is already good. The story is interesting. Okay. It's all about John Marston getting redemption against his gang, his old gang from the past. And I also feel like when you were talking about how you could rob people, you could also do that in the first game, but I didn't feel like it made sense in the first game, because you're trying to be a better person.
Yeah, exactly. And here they make the whole outlaw system. You know how like in the first game you could like just be bad for whatever, and you have a bad rating. Here it makes sense, where you are technically a bad guy, but you're not trying to make your camp noticed, I guess. You're trying to keep in hiding. So if you start doing that kind of stuff, you start getting people coming at your camp and stuff like that. And there's even a thing in the game, if you fire your gun close to your camp, that will put your camp at risk, because people will come to investigate and find the camp. So really that stuff hasn't happened to me yet, because I'm not firing my gun. But the game told me, don't fire your gun to your camp. I'm like, all right, bow and arrow for now on.
I promise.
Yeah, probably
10 hours in, I'll give it a hoot.
Yeah, I'll use the last only. Yeah.
But I do want to talk about one other thing, are the controls. I came across a Reddit post today, which, games like Red Dead get perfect scores. A lot of people praise it. There's always going to be those people trying to look for mistakes. Like, it's not that perfect. See, something wrong there. Yeah. Rockstar games have these weird things, weird issues with the controls.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
The controls I've noticed in Red Dead 1, and this is also the same in in Grand Theft Auto 5 also. I feel like the way these characters move are pretty awkward. Like I don't know if it's the same in Red Dead 2, but also this Reddit post said like aiming in Red Dead 2 is fucking horrible as shit. It's slow. It makes you rely on the Deadeye system a lot. And I also felt that way kind of about Red Dead 1 as well as GTA 5, was that the aiming was slow, and there was a lot of just keep re-releasing the trigger and like aim automatically, like stuff like that.
Yeah, it does definitely have that. The aiming is a little rough, but I felt that was kind of there because the whole game has like kind of like an upgrade system, very similar to San Andreas. Remember where you like if you eat too much you get fat, and if you don't, you can grow your hair out and stuff like that.
Oh dang, they brought that back. Excellent.
Yeah. Now I don't think it does have like a shooting mechanic, like where it actually like you get better. I don't think it. What's going on?
Oh, I woke up.
Oh, he's talking with his roommate. Mute yourself, Kyle.
Okay, no, that's fine. I thought you were saying something. Right. But yeah, I don't think it does. But I feel like the game knows that it's gonna be a little difficult to first aim the gun.
Yeah, totally.
So you will start getting better with it as you go on. It doesn't want you being a badass immediately. It even gives you the Deadeye really quick. I thought it'd be later on in the game. It gives it to you like an hour in.
That's pretty crazy. Yeah, I saw this video of a guy. I think this was on IGN's review. I don't remember. Came across a bear, and it was just like, oh shit! But then it went to Deadeye, 7 different aiming reticles all over the place, and I'm like, people are gonna abuse the hell out of this.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Deadeye, the whole thing about like their kind of survival elements to this game, because there is survival elements too, kind of like Breath of the Wild, actually, where you have to wear certain clothes in certain environments and stuff. Not as cartoony as Breath of the Wild, but same concept. Here, there's times where you want your Deadeye because you're getting, like 4 or 5 dudes are shooting at you, but you've already used it earlier, and it's kind of, I mean, you could take things out of your satchel and stuff and replenish it, but if you don't have any, I mean, it takes a long time for that to come back. Like
you boned.
Yeah, you're boned. Exactly. So you have to rely on either cover or getting the hell out of there, or I guess just skill. But I think the game has a fair amount of challenge to it, which I think is good.
I think that's really good too. Yeah, the whole in Red Dead 1, I remember very clearly, like I would constantly do the whole just keep doing the auto. It's not really auto aim, but it's like definitely handicapped aiming. That definitely helps you out. But it helps you feel more like a Western badass because in old Westerns they'll just like
exactly.
effortlessly. But there was definitely a strength in numbers aspect. Like I had trouble during parts where the enemies were just overwhelming, and this seems to be the case with this one as well. I don't know. I haven't played it. I'll play it in like 30 more minutes, maybe. The download's going fast, which is great because I thought I wouldn't.
Yeah, I thought it was a good.
Let me unmute him. I can't unmute you, Kyle. What's going on?
Maybe he muted himself.
I think he muted himself. Yeah, I think he has to.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Why you felt the need to mute me?
Because you weren't muting. I panicked.
That's all right. An important phone call. My apologies.
It's okay. I understand.
Yeah. So so the first 5 hours have been terrific. Like I can't wait to get back into it.
So you do not only think it's expansive, but it's good material.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because it's expansive. I've only played like free roam. I've only done about 2.5 hours. Because I don't count the 30 minutes of me playing dominoes. And a lot of the time I was chilling out in camp, talking to people, learning about them, going out to the town. I guess getting into gunfights I didn't want to get into. Just talking. You could talk. Yeah, like that's what I love about this. You remember? You ever played Fable 2?
No, I haven't. But this Xbot has right here.
But yeah, Fable would have this like thing where you could talk to random people and like antagonize them or greet them, be friendly. And I always loved that in Fable. Here they got that, and I can't stop going around just antagonizing people and greeting and just, hey, what's up? It just adds to the world. I love it. I really do.
It's funny you mention that because like the two reasons why I think I will eventually pick up this game is because I've heard that comparison that reminds people a lot of Fable, but also reminds people a lot of God of War in the sense that you have this really gorgeous backdrop of a world and there's so much to learn about these characters. And I was like, okay, both of those bad boys, count me in. It's like up until like literally yesterday, I was just not interested. I love Westerns, at least movies. But something about this game, I was just like, why can't people just shut up about it? I don't know. And I hate to consider myself a normie in that sense, but I think I am. When I was like, too many people just hyped it up so much where I was like,
Well, I feel like Red Dead, like Rockstar Games make games for normies and hardcore people at the same time. And I'm using normies in a loose sense. I'm referring to the people that aren't us who podcast for some fucking reason. But
the kind of customer that's going to go into GameStop and think that Black Ops is Xbox exclusive because of advertising. That kind of person. Exactly. The same way people are going to think Red Dead 2 is PlayStation exclusive for some reason because of all that advertising and stuff. Right.
Yeah, but I'm excited to get into Red Dead. Hopefully it won't be too long after this podcast. I'll finally be able to play it. Download's going real fast, real smooth. So hence why I go physical, baby.
Yeah.
Or you could do digital and just preload like an asshole. Just a lead stick bag over here.
You can't pretend you're not going to do that for Smash. Come on, get real.
Well, Smash is the only one game this year I will consider digital because yeah.
I am going. Joey knows this, but I'm going for a 100% complete physical collection for the Switch. I mean, that involves right now just getting a lot of like the limited run and super rare releases.
Yeah.
Like it's like freaking FIFA. Like I'll wait till that's in the bargain bin. but yeah. So I'm very much like if I'm gonna get a game, I'm getting it physical. But Smash, I want to be able to throw down whenever someone challenges me. You know,
right? Swapping cartridges.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in New York during the launch of that. And I'm going to be flying over with Conrad to New York to the midnight launch event.
Are you going to be waiting a month in line with CND?
Yes. But I don't know if I'm going to pick it up physically or if they're going to give it to me digitally as a review copy. But, because, Nintendo America brand ambassadors, they don't get shit pre-launch anymore. Don't know why. I know why, because some asshole last year leaked some fucking games from the Nintendo brand ambassador partnership. So, fuck him, asshole. So,
what a dick.
Yeah, I do like physical a lot, but all my first party Nintendo games, most of them at least, are digital because of the brand ambassadorship. So we'll have to see.
Oh, yeah. I guess that's. We'll give you a pass.
I am
an honorary member of the physical master race.
Yay! If I only go digital, if one, it's a review code, and I have no other choice. Or two, there's a really fucking good digital sale, which there always are.
Yeah, that's always alluring, but Gamers Club Unlocked. Come on.
I tried using your Gamers Club Unlocked today for Red Dead, but it didn't work. I don't know what's going on.
Did you put in my email like normal?
I did. Don't know. Just hold it. Everybody hold your phones, guys.
Let me see if I can do this.
I got my iPad here.
All right, on the count of 3. 1, 2.
Because I know for a fact that I did it early. Like I even put it in my cart to see what it would come out to, and
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened at all.
Maybe they're like looking at the.
I linked looking
at you. You lost weight.
The person who was checking me out for Starlink, which the Gamers Club didn't work for me on that game because I think it had toys involved.
No, it worked for me 100%. I don't know who you
are. Fuck then. I don't know. But they said, you could just link that email to your Best Buy account. I guess that fucked it up or something. But you're still getting Gamers Club, so at least it's working for you, and that's all that matters.
Let me try this.
No, we're podcasting, Kyle. Keep the shit in your bedroom. Look at that.
Oh, there it is, $47.99. I like that.
Guess what's in my cart ready to go, my guy? Ready to go.
Ooh, let's go.
I did use a $5 certificate I had, though, on my account. So I was just like, okay, might as well do that then.
So you're trying to use your account with my email?
Yes.
Just use my account.
But it worked with when I got fucking Call of Duty World War II. It worked that time. Don't know why.
That was a year ago.
Before they wasn't. This was in April, May.
Now, are you ordering online?
No.
Oh, you go in the store? Usually they just ask for my phone number, so that's weird.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe you should just do that.
I think I just need to give them your phone number.
Phone call.
Yeah, give them my phone number. I don't got Gamer phone line.
Just call me and I'll be like, look, this is my brother. He's picking it up for me.
Yeah.
Well, since I work at that Best Buy I'm going to, I don't work for Best Buy. I work for Oculus, or a company that represents Oculus, whatever. I'm tight with them anyway, so they'll be like, whatever, fine. You're not hurting anybody by using someone else's Gamers Club.
Yeah, I was gonna buy it.
You still fucking could.
Yeah,
nothing's stopping you. But anything else?
$7 really isn't that bad.
It isn't.
No, that's good.
I'm waiting for, like I told you, Joey. I'm waiting for Black Friday, not just because of the deals I know that are inevitably going to happen, but also winter break. It's just I want to be able to sink some time in. 60 hours for a campaign, my guy.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I'm telling Conrad we need to extend the deadline of that Red Dead video. I can't do next Saturday. That's not enough. I need more than a week.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you definitely do.
Yeah, and plus it's like I feel like more people are going to watch it when they beat the game or when they play most of it. So, yeah. But anything else we should talk about before we make like a baby and get out of here?
There was one thing that somebody. Oh no, Awesome King. We won't talk about that.
I don't want to talk about that either because he's a friend of mine. I'm not going to talk about that.
Yeah, sorry. I just remembered someone suggesting something. I couldn't remember what it was.
Okay, we're not going to talk about Etika for one. No.
Yeah,
I'm not touching that.
Did we want to? You already said you didn't want to talk about Smash Leaks, right?
I didn't want to talk about the Smash Leaks. No, we don't. Well, we could talk about. We can't talk about what's in the leak. But if you wanted to talk about anything relating to it, like how it happened, where it came from, we sure can.
I mean, that's impossible without telling you what's in the leak.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So no.
So yeah. All right then. Yeah, I think we're all square.
We're all square. We're all squares here. Gore, thank you so much for joining us. Where can we find you?
At Gore the Movie God on Twitter and Gore the Movie God on YouTube. That's all I got.
That's all you got?
I got Facebook, but no one likes me there. Don't worry about it.
No one likes me. You know, it's actually really hard to get good Facebook interaction. I've noticed it with a bunch of big YouTubers. They have Facebook accounts and it's not nearly as active.
Yeah, exactly.
It's stupid. Kyle, where can we find you?
You can find me on all social media at Super Gaming, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. I'm looking for Pokemon Go friends. So shameless plug of my friend code.
Holla at your boy.
I'm trying to get Celebi, so I need one more friend in order to get Celebi. So thanks, guys.
Maybe I'll have to reinstall Pokemon Go then, but I don't want to.
Oh, man.
Get this man.
It's actually made a lot of good improvements. I'm a fan.
That's good. That's really good. It's just not something
It has grown really strong too. I went 2 days in a row. These last 2 days, the big raid battles. We showed up to a couple, and there was at least 15 to 20 people there doing it with us. So
I'm just kidding.
Meeting a lot of people is pretty cool. That's something that wasn't there. Like it was there at the beginning of the game's launch with like everybody out just playing Pokemon Go, but then after a month, everyone was gone. So I'm glad like most of that hype is back.
Yeah,
maybe it has to do with the new game, but maybe not.
I wish that hype was back. I wish it was summer 2016 again.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Such a magical time. But Chris, he left, so you can follow him on Twitter at NukeTheChris. And he also writes for us at NukeTheFridge.com, as does Kyle, as do
us.
Yeah, we don't write for him. He writes for us. Well, I need to stop hitting my desk. This poor baby. It's old as shit. I need a new one. But you can also find me on Twitter at Ferris Wheel Pro, as well as my YouTube stuff, Ferris Wheel Productions and Commonwealth Realm. Guess which one I post to most often. But I got another Ferris Wheel Pro video in the works coming this November.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow. 2 in 1 year.
That's so weird.
Whoa.
Time out. It's going to be Harry Plopper related. So I'm very excited.
That's great. Are you going to get it on the Switch?
I'm going to be too busy with Red Dead, so no, I'm going to be talking about one of my the best Harry Potter game ever, fucking Chamber of Secrets on the GameCube. Holla at your boy.
Prisoner of Azkaban was the best. Oh.
No, I'm honestly, that's honestly the only Harry Potter game I've played front to back, so I really can't say it's the best.
Wait,
I did play the PlayStation.
Have we talked about the leaked Warner Brothers developed game?
Oh, dude, we talked about that for 2 episodes now.
That's right. Yeah, I want to talk about it more as a problem.
Maybe next time when it's revealed at the Game Awards, maybe. Or XO 2018. I don't know. I see it as more of a Game Awards reveal.
Who knows even that? I just like how it's being developed close to where I live.
Oh, true. In Salt Lake City.
Yeah, so pretty exciting. A lot of the people I have been educated from are working there, so
Very
I could
nice.
get some information.
Avalanche Software, right?
Yeah.
Very cool.
So yeah, I mean, good studio that fell unfortunate fate, but now is on back.
Oh, and yeah, Paris Games Week is coming up eventually. Oh, yeah. I remember last year Sony's Paris Games Week was better than their E3 conference. So
it was.
That was so weird. It's like they're treating Paris
Literally,
Games Week like
dog
it's
poop is better than Sony's E3 conference.
Yo, but that's so true.
Yo.
Remember when they were like the pinnacle of E3 press conferences and then they just decided to stop doing that?
Dog poop, you at least get to be outside. Get a great view.
All right, fellas. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you guys for watching this live. And if you're not watching us live, thanks for watching us later on YouTube. All right. Take it easy, everybody. We will see you hopefully next week or whenever we fucking shoot another podcast. All right. Bye.
Bye.